Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Ring and Rant. It is a Sunday for most of you. It is Super Bowl Sunday, and that is on a little bit later on today. We are here for Ring and Rant. We have gotten through the weekend. We have managed to get another loss, which is our 8th loss for the season out of 31 matches. So not too bad. But yeah, so away we go. Hi Donna, how you going? What started out as a very promising weekend turned into something that was a little bit disappointing for all of us Wrexham fans that wanted a result. I'm going to throw the link straight up in there if anybody wants to come in and have their say today. But what happened was obviously the weekend got started. We were looking promising, to be honest. Charlton and QPR played out a draw, which was great for us with QPR. Norwich and Blackburn, nothing really in that for us, to be fair. Southampton getting a win over Watford, which was great for us. And then Ipswich getting a win over Derby, which was sort of could have had that go either way for us, to be honest. And Ipswich looked very good. And then we got into our games. Scumami, good to see you, Mark. Yeah, the link's in there if you want to come in and have a chat. Love to hear what you guys think. How you're going. Was a tough one, Rick Miller, absolutely. So Birmingham got their win over Leicester. Leicester, got their 6-point deduction, now sitting down, just sitting outside the relegation zone on for and against only. Like literally, they are sitting in 21st spot with a -6, Blackburn behind them on -13, but on the same amount of points. So very interesting for Leicester right now. Kiefer got assaulted. Yeah, I've got my bit to say about that, Mike Massaro. But anyway, we'll get into that in a second. Preston got a 1-0 win over Portsmouth, which obviously pushed them right back up into contention. They're sitting behind us only on for and against. And then West Brom Stoke playing out a 0-0 draw, which was really a good result for us. Obviously, our loss to Millwall, and I'll get onto that in a second. Bristol going away and beating Hull 3-2, which I liked that result for us. It's a great result for Ipswich. They've now jumped up into 3rd place on 54 points, only 4 points behind Middlesbrough and 5 points behind Coventry, but do have a game in hand on Coventry. But Middlesbrough are still to play Sheffield United tomorrow. So that is still upcoming, people. Then we have other game for the weekend. Coventry, 0-0 draw against Oxford United. Oxford United, a vital point for them, got them to 28 points. They're still, well, I'm going to say really 5 points outside the relegation zone because they're 4 points, but, the for and against is against them. They're 7 goal difference to Leicester. So, yes. But for Coventry, still slipping up. And then last night, well, for me, or yesterday for most of you, Swansea have gone and continued Sheffield Wednesday's pain with a 4-0 victory at home over Sheffield Wednesday. So very tough for them. And like I said, tomorrow, Sheffield United at home to Middlesbrough. So anyway, I'm going to get into it. Our game. Look, Millwall were placed higher than us on the ladder. We were playing them at home, but they're a very, very good team and two totally different teams to the teams that played at the Den earlier in the season when we won 2-0. And Millwall come a long way since then, and so have we for that matter. I thought we could win, but we did. They played, I'd say they played better than us. We created more opportunities. They sort of, an opportunistic first goal with an own goal from Max, which was just very unlucky for Max. In the position he got caught in from my point of view. And then I literally had a look at, just the way the game was played out. To be honest, I think a mistake was made pre-game because the defenders for Swansea are absolute monsters. Yes, Marie, the shirts are down today in mourning. I took them down in mourning because we didn't get the win. That's why I didn't put them up. I thought, no, they don't deserve to get the shirts today because we've lost at home. So that was my reasoning behind it. But I do think that, we should have probably started Sam Smith instead of Kiefer Moore. And, you know, I just think against that defence to try and run those guys around a bit more between Smith and could have done Rathbone and O'Brien still, and, you know, really tried to move them around and make them work harder. But, I mean, their defence was really, really well organised. So I was very impressed with their defensive structure. They all got back, made it very hard for us to break them down. His Blues ones are due to go up. That's fine. John, how are you, buddy? That's funny. Feel free to jump in if you want. It just the Blues ones won't be going up, John. There are no Blues ones. A bit like you not having Wrexham ones, John. And hey, Sean, how did my team Cheltenham do? They lost. Harry only came on in the 72nd minute, and that's why they lost, because they didn't play Harry Ashfield, Sean. But I did look up the squad. I didn't see any highlights. I haven't seen nothing of it. I just saw when Harry came on, and that was it. But congratulations to you, John and Sean, for Birmingham getting your 2-1 win at home over Leicester. Love to hear how you thought your team played. Hey, Sarah, hi to you. So, I mean, the table now, Birmingham have moved up to 10th, only 2 points outside the playoffs. I really do think they can absolutely do it. Parky is demanding rule changes, as having to swap out injured players altered his game plan to chase goals as he reached his sub-window limit. Yeah, well, you can only sub so many players, yes. Well, Matt, bad luck to Parky, to be fair, because, to be honest, them's the rules. So, yeah, they're the same for everybody. You got to play within them, and you've got to be strategic within those rules. So, unfortunately, them's the breaks. So, yeah. But now, I mean, you know, I'm looking at the table and I'm looking at, you know, Coventry sitting on 59, Middlesbrough 58 still to play. But they do have to travel away to Sheffield United. Not an easy game. You know, I mean, Sheffield United are all the way. There they are in 16th place on 39. Now, so they could jump to 42 if they beat Middlesbrough. But Middlesbrough, to me, are the form team. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, agree, Sean. Yeah. So we will see. So if we win Tuesday, we will be 6th for a week anyway, says John. Well, that's true. Yep. But yeah, you're right. I mean, Birmingham's definitely still in the race, like all the way down to, well, I'm going to say Sheffield United, actually, because if they win tomorrow to finish out the round, they'll be on 42. So I'd say anyone from 42 points and up can still make it. Sorry, Norwich fans. Just a bridge too far, in my opinion. And to be honest, like the 42 pointers are probably going to find hard. Southampton, for Mark out there, definitely still a chance. I mean, enough quality in that side to do it, but can you jump all those teams? Who knows? Going to be tough. Just a super, super tight league. So, yeah, thought I moved the time forward an hour today, just because I thought I'll beat the Super Bowl game. And if anybody wants to jump in, I have put the link in there if you want to jump in and have your say. But, yeah, for me, we just got outplayed. We got outplayed by a good side. We created more opportunities, but we couldn't capitalise on them. But, yeah, so their defence was just ever so slightly better. And, yeah, tough game against a good side. You know, hats off. Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, the Super Bowl is today, Sean. I think it's on in about 2.5 hours. Well, that's when the coverage starts for me, I think. So, yeah, I'm not a massive Super Bowl fan, but it is a big event. So, a lot of people, I love watching the halftime show. That's, you know, and I'll have the game on in the background if I've got time, but while I'm working. But anyway, yeah, it's an interesting, I mean, look, fascinating league. Hull obviously having a slight hiccup. And, you know, Ipswich Town with that game in hand, if they could win that, well, I mean, see, technically right now as we sit here, Middlesbrough have a game in hand as well. So there is a chance for Middlesbrough now tomorrow to go top of the table. Yeah. So, yes, but that's okay, Matt. We just got to make up that game later. So I think John surmised this really well. it's one of those things that, you know, you can't really, you are watching the table, but it's just about accumulating points right now, because there's now 15 games to go for most of the league. Yeah, but anyway, so we will wait and see. Yeah, so we will see. But Ricky Miller, first goal off Max was embarrassing. It wasn't as embarrassing as you think, really, in my opinion. Because when you look at the way the cross came in, and it was a good cross, that Max's vision was definitely blocked slightly at the beginning, and then, you know, he sort of turned his body to try and get away, but it's just one of those unfortunate goals, you know. And, you know, it's opportunistic. When you create the opportunities like that, it can happen. So yeah, it's just whoever can get on a run. Yeah, absolutely, we'll get into the playoffs. So, but I've got my first guest. He's nearly ready to jump in, I think, here. Let's have a look. I might bring him in. So I think you've been on before.
I think I've been on before, yeah. Like maybe once, maybe twice, yep. 3 times, and lady. There you go.
Yeah,
coming in, singing.
So I gave my summation of what I thought of the game, Josh. You know, I mean, look, I just thought we were outplayed. We created opportunities, but then,
yeah. If you watch the Wrexham reaction, I gave mine too, and John had to come and talk me off the ledge.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've never known you to be too emotional, like, you know,
or just, you know, passionate.
Yeah, that's the right word. Passionate.
Yeah, passionate. Yeah. So you think we were outplayed? Is that what you think?
I do. Yeah, absolutely. They were a good side. They outplayed us. Not by much, but
no. And I thought about something today too, and I was thinking about you after we spoke yesterday, and I was thinking about, like, you mentioned Max, because you and I talked, and I actually watched it back a couple times, you know, and like, this is just, you know, Max having the own goal, and like, this is just a maturation of him, you know, as a player, and just, you know, just you know, learning on the job training, which is really good. So I think like, things like that happen, and, you know, criticize or not, you know, no one's against it, but it's just a maturation of guys, like, you know, of him in the squad, things like that. So, but outplayed, you know, like you said, we're going to lose games. We're going to lose games, you know.
Well, you know, yeah. Oh, it's getting serious now.
Oh, dude, show's over.
This is good. Look, I mean, this team, what a great result for them on the weekend.
Yeah.
Well, I had to talk him down off a ledge yesterday, so I thought I better come and offer the same services to you, Ken. So
yeah,
I don't feel like I'm on any ledge. I'm on the top floor. I popped out of the elevator, but I'm just looking out the window.
Tell the truth, Ken. Look, you've took all your shirts behind. You know, that's it.
Yeah, that's my protest. That's my protest for today's show. Taking you know, my disappointment in having. But I mean, look, I was nervous going into it, because, I mean, let's face it, you're not in 5th through playing bad football. You know, so they're a good team. And we got outplayed. Not by much, but we did.
I wouldn't say you got outplayed. I'd say you got out Millwalled.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think somebody else, I listened to it on another channel, somebody else said you went up against Millwall and basically tried to outfight a Millwall side, which, you know, I think every football fan of every championship club says you just don't try and do that against Millwall.
So how do you beat Millwall, John?
You play football against them, because we beat them 4-0.
I felt like we were playing football. I felt like we couldn't break down their defensive line.
It's the thing with Millwall. I mean, I think, as Josh said, they got 2 absolute giants at the back there. You've got to get the ball down on the deck and in behind them. You've got to get mobility behind that defensive line. That's how you beat a side like that.
Yeah, and that's why I said I thought we should have started Smith, not more.
You're definitely right about that too. But but Parkinson said it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tough match. We went in there. I didn't think they were. I called them goons yesterday, so apologies for that. I got how much shit you get on this on the fringe of society if you call out a team. But, you know, I thought we didn't have our, you know, I think Kiefer Moore. we were looking to the ref like, hey, we're getting hit, and we didn't hit back at certain times. We could have scored goals, but that's the champion. That is the championship, like you said, Ken. It's the championship.
Yep. We had more shots on goal than them.
Yeah,
but they took their opportunities, and fair play. Well done.
Mm-hmm. And Matt, I was talking about the enforcer. It's definitely, it's definitely not Maka. Maka wouldn't have done good in that game. He would have, he would have probably got sent off. But we need some, we need somebody like that. But it's just we don't have that guy.
Yeah, John, I think you're right. You need to just play out football them. And here we go. Now I'm getting excited. I've been wanting to talk. I've been wanting to talk for Mark for a little while. So let's get him in here straight away, and then we'll get back to John. Hey, Mark, how you going?
How's it going, boys? You all right?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. Talk to us about your team. Is there still hope?
I don't know, mate. I think like the whole season for like most teams is stop start. It's like the championship ain't even started, right? You just look at that league and it just looks. I don't know, when we was last in our championship campaign a couple of years ago, you had the people that just literally completely ran off of it, even at this point where we are now. And it's not turned out like that this season. So it'd be interesting, mate. I think we go away to Leicester. I think we've got Charlton and QPR. I think that sums up your season. If you can get three wins out of that, do you know what I mean? Then you can start looking in that direction. But they've changed formation. They've gone to a back four. We got rid of Adam Armstrong, and that's, well, in itself was a shocker to me. But we got offered £9 million. He had a year and a half left on his contract, so we took it. So yeah, it's like I said. I think even John, what do you say about your season? Is it the stop-start?
Yeah, it's been a bit like that. Obviously, the January window was a big one for us because we made a lot of changes. So we're banking on the fact that the January window makes us more consistent in that regard.
Yeah, like you say, it was your away form, I think, with Birmingham, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's the away form's the killer. But yeah, thankfully for us, we've won the last 2 away games, albeit it's against Oxford and Sheffield Wednesday, which, hey, a blind man could probably beat those two sides right now.
I watched them against Swansea today, and they didn't put up much of a fight. I think they get relegated if they get beat next week, I think. But yeah, with Southampton, like I said, I think the next 3 games will sum it up. But I've literally not even wanted to watch some of the games. Literally not even wanted to listen to the commentary on it. But where I've got a season ticket, I've had to go. It's been painful. What would you? I was looking at Wrexham's last run of games, and I'll tell you what, they've still beat a couple of teams, haven't they? They beat Derby, beat a few teams. And that was on the road as well.
Look, yeah, we've played well. We have a tough end to the season, but I actually like that because I think we played better against the better teams, in my opinion. But yeah, I think that look, there's a lot of good teams in this league, and you can't rest against anybody. Like you go and play Charlton away, that's a tough game. You play Norwich right now, no one wants to come up against Norwich right now. There's teams all up and down this ladder that, on their day can come out and do a number on you. So, every team is going to have to play good football. We're in the playoffs now, but, Birmingham go and win this week and you're in the playoffs, and then we've got to go and do our job to get back in there. And so there's a lot of football still to be played.
Was it 36 points available still, or 39? 36?
45?
46, I think. Is it 46 or 43 points, I think, right for grabs?
45. 15 games is 45 points.
Yeah, that's it. I can't remember how many games were left. But yeah, it's when you actually look at the league, though, like you said, you don't know where your wins are going to come from. That's the problem. You don't know where they're coming from.
Well, at least you could think they're coming from your home, Ken and guys, but we, I don't know if we can call that a blip yesterday. There's so many things like we walked through a little bit yesterday, but still, you got to be able to stand up to those games. I was watching. This is so off topic, but on topic. I watched Liverpool-Manchester City the game, which was an absolute barn burner. Now, granted, there are levels above us in several different ways. And Ken, I know you were disappointed what happened with the result today, but I thought about something about Wrexham, and I don't know. You could talk about Southampton. You could talk about your team, Birmingham City. But can you watch our games too? We never get in the box. We never in our final third. We never have a free kick like just outside of the box for an opportunity there. And after watching what we did yesterday and seeing the patterns of like we really don't get on the front foot and go and get those opportunities, get those fouls just on the edge of the box, or even get penalties and things like that. I mean, when's the last time we got a penalty? It clearly shows that we don't play the ball on the ground, or at least get the opportunity to put that ball in that final third. And I think that is the last bit of the things that we're missing. And I bring that up because there was a beautiful free kick from Sabazalai today that absolutely just laced it in the back of the net, but it was in a good position. We never get those opportunities, as they're kind of like 10 yards further. So it just shows we're not playing that far up the pitch. I thought about that today, just while driving.
I think next season that won't be as much as a problem. I think you'll bring in, because have you really got, like, when you go see someone on the ball, you got a bit of a baller. You've got Damari Gray at Birmingham, right? He can run in on the box and really attack it. We've got who have we got? We've got a couple of them. We've got fellows that can run into the box and they create fouls. And obviously, without those players, you don't get those set pieces. Our problem is we can get the players running in on the box, wingers and attacking midfielders. We got no out strikers. All of our strikers have been under fucking 5'8", So we just scored our first header with our attacker for the first time in about 2 years, probably. So that was nice to see on Saturday. But that was our problem. We ain't got like that Kiefer Moore, big, rugged sort of type of player. But you boys were disappointed that he'd come back into the team, right, on the weekend?
For that game, I didn't think he was. I thought Smith was the better option, just because of the size of their defenders, and I really wanted to see them pulled and stretched around, through the type of play that Josh is talking about. Now, unfortunately, the style of play we try to play, not unfortunately, but for that game, to do what Josh was saying, for that game, it's unfortunate if you want to try and play that style, because we push down the wings, we cross in, and then we're trying to take opportunities out of that. Now, you can either have your wing backs cutting in to do what Josh is trying to say, or you get the players like who were playing on the weekend. It was O'Brien and Rathbone, or previous game it's Windass and Broadhead. Those guys have to be willing, and Broadhead's probably the guy that is best at it, that will take the man on and come in. Yeah.
Sorry, 1 second, Ken. Tony, we don't do that here, brother. Dude, that's just not. You put something up like that again, we're just gonna ban you. So that's all. Yeah,
that obviously got cut out. I didn't see it because I can't do two things at once. I'm just a man.
Sorry about that, chat. We do the best we can. We don't have moderators, but that stuff doesn't fly here.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, but I just think we can't, we don't typically play like that so much. Like, you see it very occasionally, but we're really push it down the sideline, cross it in type of football team.
It's ball carriers, isn't it? That's the thing. It's those players which will pick up the ball and sort of halfway line, or and carry it 10, 20 yards into the pitch, and it's like.
They cost money, though, don't they? They cost money.
They do. They do. They cost money, but also you have to. I won't say you have to play a certain style, because that's the wrong thing to say. You have to have a team set up to utilize them. You know, you play a wing back scenario, you don't have ball carriers, because most ball carriers are either wide inverted wingers or a number 10 to a degree. I mean, Josh Windass is a ball carrier, really. He's a natural ball carrier. But the key is the clues in the name. They're ball carriers. They have to have the ball, and that's the thing. That's why the likes of Damari Gray and Southampton players, Cienza's one. The game plan in a lot of our games, and I'm sure it's the same with Southampton, is you get the ball as much as possible to those players, because they are the outlet. They're the ones that are the threat, and that's where the fouls come.
Sorry, Broadhead was out yesterday for us. That guy gets on the ball. He's possibly that guy, right?
Yeah, he can be. I think it's like you said, Josh. You don't tend to have like those free kicks, those sort of opportunities. It's because I think it's just the way I won't say the style or anything. It's just the way you are set up as a side. You know, as Ken said, there is very much of a focus. You get a lot of early crosses in. I mean, you don't tend to run to the byline to get cross. You know, there's a lot of whip balls from, shall we say, 25 yards out. You know, they don't run that. So teams won't. You know, you're not going to commit fouls that far out. It's when you get you do get a Damari Gray who's taking on a player or two on the edge of the 18-yard, but it's panic sets in, doesn't it? Defenses then start panicking, and they just think, "I'll give away a free kick because if he gets round me, it's a better opportunity."
Last chance, Tony. You put something up again where you're going to get banned. That's it. Sorry. Don't even address it in the chat. Sorry about that. But yes, last chance. That's it.
Yeah. Go on.
No, you go. Sorry.
Yeah, Southampton's most of their fault come from their own. We were playing a back five, and obviously, like you said, with those wing backs, they weren't getting utilised. Tom Fellows was playing as a wing back, weren't getting up the pitch. And when he was getting up the pitch, the back line was just it just didn't even look right. Now they've gone to a back four. They got James Bree back from Charlton, and believe it or not, they let him straight out on loan. We've brought him back. We've gone to a back four. Tom Fellows is actually using the space now. We look more solid at the back. And the thing is, like you said, those players like your Tom Fellows, the Cienzas, the thing is, it's brilliant. But once one of them gets injured, that's it. Do you know what I mean? It just literally it messed up Saints anyway. As soon as one of them is injured, that's it. We've got no outlet. So, like you said, with those sort of players, they create a lot. But like you said, Wrexham playing a total, they don't play in that sort of way, right? They're not using that sort of like what would you say? That sort of like ball carry. Like Saints' only outlet is them two. That's it. Finn Azaz, he's sat behind the striker. He's not an out-to-out striker, so that's our problem at the moment. We've just brought someone in, but we've got Ross Stewart that can't do much at the moment. He's been injury prone. So Saints as a club, if we get playoffs, I'll be very surprised if we can reach playoffs because we might be able to score goals, but as soon as those players are out, we can't really do much. That's why we've been misfiring all the time because as soon as one of them's out, that's it. But we've got a 30-man squad. It doesn't make much sense, It literally is crazy. A 30-man squad worth God knows how much, and it just goes to prove if you don't get the right manager in, that's it. Your club just literally goes to absolute rat shit. It's just it's no good. It's no good whatsoever. But I was going to say, do you think Parky will stay next season?
100%.
Yeah. You said there was an article that came out today, timely in the Athletic, about basically McElhenney was saying basically he's like, I shouldn't say this in public, but he's got a lifetime contract. If he wants to leave or find a new thing, listen, I think they probably believe that. I think they'll end up like parting ways at some point, but I think Parkinson has the opportunity to do whatever he wants in this scenario, but I don't think he's void of criticism and void of mistakes, and everyone is for sure. But he'll be here. I mean, whether we're in the Premier League or the Championship next season, right? I mean, there's just no way he's leaving.
I think everyone's been shocked, though, haven't they? I was shocked. I thought Birmingham would be. There's no discredit to Birmingham, but I thought Birmingham would be ahead of Wrexham after January, and I didn't think Wrexham would be where they are right now. I thought they would be more of a late run. It wouldn't be as early, right? But they've put together games, and it's all about momentum, isn't it? Picking up those points.
Well, I'm going to preface this by saying I don't own a Birmingham shirt. Okay, John?
Yeah.
The preface this statement by saying I don't own a Birmingham shirt, and everybody's seen my array of Wrexham shirts. But by the end of February, they're going to be in front of us, in my opinion.
We should be in front of you by Tuesday, really, if we're being honest.
Technically, yes.
I'm going to say, not lying. I mean, we play West Brom at home, so
100%. And our next championship game is away to Bristol, straight after our FA Cup game in midweek, and then we have to come back home and play Ipswich again. Now, Ipswich looked very good on the weekend. I would love us to win both those games, but I think any Wrexham fan that says we're going to get 6 points out of those next two games is very, very, very one-eyed.
Is Ipswich away or at home? Did you say?
Bristol. What? So we play Ipswich in the FA Cup at home.
Yeah.
Then we travel away midweek to play Bristol, and
Yeah.
then we come home to play Ipswich again in the Championship.
That's two dodgy games, isn't it? Very dodgy games.
I said yesterday, and I think that's when John was like, "Enough is enough." I said we're going to win both games. We're going to 6 points. I
like the optimism. I love it. I love it.
Actually, Josh, you said we have to win both those games. You didn't say we are going to win. You said we have to win.
Yeah.
which I said you don't really need. It's not like end of the world stuff.
No, and I think just everybody should probably pay close attention to John because he is in form so far with one game to go on the weekend's tips. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 11 games right so far this weekend.
I had a few spot on scores, didn't I?
2 spot on scores. I've got to go in a bit later and adjust the formula so you get less points. I haven't been able to do that yet.
Okay.
Ken's on the mechanism where he drinks when he's putting him in and he's sober when he edits, so he can get it right for himself. By the way, I think we have a Millwall. Sorry, Ken, I'm just bogarting here. We have a Millwall supporter here. Being fair, this is the best Millwall team in our history. Millwall support. I called you guys goons. I apologize yesterday. Wrexham were a league below us last season, and both teams were quality. Cancel each other out. Should be too hard. Millwall, good opposition. I mean, yeah.
Congratulations to you.
It's the best I've seen them. It's the best I've seen them for years. The Millwall are a hard team to play against normally at the Den, but normally they don't look. Normally they come to this point of the period of the season and they're not up there. They've definitely I've always shocked me this season. Like you said, though, that's the Championship this season. I think loads of teams have shocked people.
Yeah.
I might disagree with Andy slightly. I'm not sure it's the best Millwall team I've ever seen. The Millwall side we beat in the playoffs many, many moons ago. We're talking, 2001 or something like that. That was a very good Millwall side, which had a very young Tim Cahill playing in it.
Well, yeah, good old Timmy. Yes,
wow.
Aussie.
That is a few years ago.
Can I point something out too? Sorry, Ken. Millwall has injured Matty James, Kakache, and Danny Ward all in 2 games.
They're hard to play against, though, aren't they? They are. That's the thing. You've got a team like Derby as well. Derby are horrendous for fouls.
And gave Kiefer Moore 2 bloody noses.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was getting battered, and that was on purpose too. But I mean, to be fair, remember we beat them 2-0 at the Den early in the season. Teams don't forget that. And even if they
how hard is it to turn a team over twice, Ken?
Well, they just bring that extra 1 or 2%, Mark, you mentioned earlier about, Pucky with his job and whatnot. And, I know that Rob McElhenney has said that, Josh mentioned it. But at the start of the season, if you, if you realistically had said 12th in the Championship, first year in the Championship, 90% of fans would go, thank you, we'll take that. We're sitting right now in 6th. Some of us that have, higher aspirations, as well as myself. Like Josh, I'm with you now, Josh. We're a chance, so you got to be trying to take that opportunity, and the players themselves will be wanting to take that opportunity to make the playoffs. Is probably so far, in most people's eyes, an overachievement.
Yeah.
As a Saints fan, I would hate to if we got in the playoffs and went up. I'd literally cry because we had 11 points last time. Just managed to get over that points. The lowest points target in the Premier League. And if we went up there this season, like I said, look at the teams down there at the moment.
Well,
West Ham are in the bottom 3 at the moment. Wolves are in the bottom 3 at the moment.
Give me 1 sec, Josh. Mark, I'm going to hold you to it. If you make the playoffs and go up, you're coming on the show with your camera on, and we're all going to watch you cry.
You funny man. No, but it would be bad, right? Like I said, we won 1 home game all season.
Yep.
Hey, between you and Norwich City, I'm looking out for you guys to take points off the top 6 for us. So get going. Yeah.
I do think though. I do think that we could, like I said, we win these 3 games. I'll have a bit of faith again, but at the moment, I still don't.
If you win those 3 games, Mark, I quickly had a look. Your next game after that is Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Sheffield Wednesday. If we went on that 3-match run, and like you said, you would have Sheffield Wednesday would already be down, right? So they wouldn't have nothing to play for.
Yeah. Marie, don't hold up. Keep going at it. I love it. They're into Josh.
I'm watching it in the chat.
Yeah, that's fine.
Who wouldn't you want to face in the playoffs? If you were in the playoffs right now, who wouldn't you want to face? That's a question, though.
All of them.
Ipswich or Middlesbrough are the other 2.
Yeah. I think Coventry are going to drop off now. Normally they start really well and end really start really bad and end really good. And I think they're going to drop off. I've got a funny feeling about it. I think they're going to drop off.
Not going to get auto promotion.
I think Ipswich will take their place and they will be in the playoffs.
Yep. Well, John and I have been saying that for over a month now. Like that, Coventry are going to drop out of the auto promotions.
I mean, that draw this weekend against Oxford's just a killer, isn't it? I mean, draws
against 10 men, yeah.
Yeah, if you're going for automatic promotion and you're playing second bottom of the league at home and you draw that game, I mean, it's like a loss, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Has Oxford got a manager?
Yeah. They got what's his name? He was at Luton.
Yeah,
that's never no good. The last person we got from Luton was Nathan Jones.
That worked out well, didn't it?
I see that man on the weekend and I can't believe it. I know it's not. He was the man. He bites his nails. Oh, that's disgusting.
just on Nathan Jones' watch, I was watching their game on Friday night, and I think Sky TV must have turned down the microphones on the side of the pitch, but they didn't turn them all the way down, so you could just faintly hear in the background the benches, and it's like the last few minutes, and all you could hear was Nathan Jones screaming to his defenders, just defend for your lives, defend like your lives depend on it, and he was just shouting that constantly at his defenders. And I'm just there. It's like maybe something a bit more tactful, a bit more tactical, like double up on the big man or something. No, defend for your lives, lads, because that's inspiring.
So good. I mean, I think if Middlesbrough beat Sheffield United, they've gone top of the table tomorrow. And
is Middlesbrough playing away or at home?
Middlesbrough away to Sheffield United, so not an easy game. But Middlesbrough's the form team right now in the league. Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? Because they got rid of Azaz to us, and they thought they were going to be in trouble. And since he left, they haven't struggled to score goals at all.
No, it's funny how a player can change a team.
I was going to say, I have to give credit to the new Middlesbrough manager. I think he's gone in there and actually turned them round as an attacking threat. They're a far more potent attacking team now since he's been in there than they were before.
He's from Sweden, isn't he? Is it Sweden?
Yeah, it was. Oh, he's Swedish. Well, I don't know where he came from.
Yeah.
What do actually, John? Give us a bit of a breakdown. You guys obviously played Leicester. They got a red card. In what minute did they get the red card? It was early, wasn't it?
31 minutes.
31. And how did they look as a team? Like, to me, they haven't had the enthusiasm or the drive in what I've been watching in their last 3 or 4 games. How did they play?
I'll be honest. They were not as bad as everyone makes them out to be. And I think a few Leicester fans said afterwards that was probably the first performance in a while that actually they've tried in a short way. The thing is, there's clearly issues at Leicester, and you can see in the squad there's clearly problems, but they are not a bad side. And I think their biggest problem is they have absolutely nothing up front. There is not a centre forward or a striker anywhere near that squad who's any good. They rely on Fatawu and Mamadidi out wide. That's it, and it's kind of like
if you take them out of the game, then it's non-existent.
Yeah, so if you can cancel those 2 out, you've got a very good chance. But I thought they were pretty well organised. I mean, with 10 men, they defended really well. They didn't just sort of fall apart or think the world was against them. I'll be honest, on the showing I saw from them yesterday, I would say they'll stay up because even with the problems they've got, they're better than some of the sides down there, so they will pick up enough points.
They've got a mass load of injuries as well. James Justin, a couple of others, Vestergaard. They've got loads of injuries, so players will come back as well for Leicester. I can't see them dropping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lascelles, who made his debut for them yesterday from Newcastle, he looked very good. Rusty because he hasn't played a lot of football, but he looked a good player.
Well, let's have a little play. Let's have a look at the bottom of the table here. So we'd all agree Sheffield Wednesday is definitely going down. Then
they might go down. Ken, they might just send them down to League Two. Like,
Well, I think that might be next year, but anyway, but hopefully not. Look, Oxford United on 28, Blackburn on 32, Leicester on 32, West Brom on 33, Portsmouth on 33. I'm definitely saying Norwich is safe. I'm gonna call Charlton safe. Portsmouth has 2 games in hand. Which teams are going down, guys? Pick your 3 relegation teams out.
I think it's West Brom or Blackburn going down with the bottom 2. Oxford's going down and Sheffield Wednesday. I think that Blackburn or West Brom will go down with them. One of them.
Yep.
Well, Portsmouth have 2 games in hand, don't they? Portsmouth
they do. They've got 2 in hand. Yeah.
One of them's against Ipswich, though. I don't know who the other one is.
Yeah. One is Ipswich. So, well, Josh, who do you reckon's going down?
I think it might stay as it is. I do.
Okay.
Or West Brom, they just got to win right there. It might say as I think Leicester's going to find a way. They have too many good players on there. It's too many good players.
John?
I think, I'll be honest, I think a lot depends on who Blackburn get in as a manager next. If they go and get a dud, I think they'll probably go down. If they get somebody half decent, I think the Baggies are going. Obviously, being from my neck of the woods, and I've got a few Baggies mates, I laugh a little bit. But no, they stink of a side of relegation like we did for years under our previous ownership. All the issues behind the scenes, all the rumours and the noises that coming out of not on the pitch, but off the pitch, and they just scream of basically having to deal with what we had to deal with for years. So and is it the CEO essentially left or was pushed out or whatever it was early last week or something? So chaos behind.
Because didn't they chuck quite a bit of money out of it a couple of years ago? They got a new owner.
I think they spent a little bit of money, but I think one of the biggest issues the West Brom fans have at the moment is they sold a lot of players, the likes of Fellows and a few of the others. I won't say for huge amounts of money, but for decent money. And they were all told that due to PSR and financial fair play and all this, they couldn't spend this money. So essentially they've gone. But I think the biggest problem for them is that they've hired an absolute muppet for a manager. And he hasn't got a clue what he's doing, to be brutally honest.
Wow.
Yep. Look, the masochist in me would love to see Leicester go down just because it's just such a good side that there's no way they should be in this position. But I don't think it's going to happen. It's interesting, definitely. It makes for fun chat. And obviously, there's going to be more twists and turns. But when you look at it, Leicester, 3 losses in a row in their last 3 games. Plus the -6 points has put them in this. They've got no one else to blame but themselves. They've been ordinary this season. To be even give them their 6 points back, they'd still only be on 38. They'd still only be in 17th position. So it's like not like they've done anything special even without their points deduction.
Would you be surprised if they don't appoint a manager and they kept Andy King there?
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer coming in hot.
If they've got any brains, they're going to get Gary Rowett to the end of the season and say, keep us up, and we'll figure out what the hell we're going to do in the summer.
Yeah,
they go full Manchester United. Let's just pause and pretend like we know what the fuck we're doing.
I think it's crazy that mid point of the table, that middle part. It's just unbelievable. Anyone could get in those playoffs. You go for a run. Any one of them teams, any one of them could literally.
Norwich City's going to take points off everybody. It's going to be tight nuts, tight nuggies. I have 2 questions. I'm sorry, the chat is going off pretty good in regards to the Matty James injury.
Yes.
It's 2 things I want to bring up there, Ken. One, I think Issa Kabore throws off Max. And I think that's why Max was a little exposed yesterday, because Issa gets forward and John said, like he said yesterday, doesn't come back. Okay, that's 1. 2, Matty James going down with a potential, not season ending injury, but a broken toe. Okay. Might bring him out for 6-8 weeks, let's say. Viner coming in, who can play central defensive midfielder, might be the player to come in, because it's who other than Dabo. There's an interesting conversation happening in the chat right now. Is that a possibility? I know we're kind of bring it back to Wrexham there. But the chat is chat, you know.
Yeah, no, that's all very interesting. There's also, remember, Matty James wasn't in general earlier on. Ben Sheaf was, and then Matty James has taken it over. So it still could be Ben Sheaf, but the problem is Ben Sheaf, you definitely don't want him playing 90 all the time. And he's been managed very well this season, and he, has avoided injury. And I think that's been a great effort by Parky to do that.
Our one bonus for injuries.
Well,
right?
I said it when the transfer window closed. The big goal for every team in the league is to get through all of February without any injuries, because the injury list is the thing that can probably cost you your chance to make it, because that's it. Your team's locked now. And so you go and lose players in key positions in February for any extended period of time, i.e. Matty James, possibly for 2 months, can really hurt your run. Now, does Lewis O'Brien come back and play beside Ben Sheaf in a slightly more defensive midfield? Does he entrust Dobbo, who's been going well? I think the difference between those two is Dobbo is definitely more defensive and will not go forward as much as, say, a Lewis O'Brien. Or like you said, does Zach Viner come in and play in that position, who's totally capable of doing it? And I think he's ready to come back this week. So, I don't know. And to your point around Kabore with Max, when Kabore's played, Max has borne the brunt of that defensive side, because Kabore doesn't get back as much as, say, a Longman. So, Max has to be given credit for that. But I actually, Kabore offers us so much in attack in terms of his speed, but I think Ryan Longman has a better football brain.
Yeah, Chris says, I told you Longman was a winner. He even helps Max. And Kabore looks fast, but didn't offer anything else. And then Donna is asking, do you think we might look at a Premier League player for young players to replace the left? Libby Kakacha in the season. And we had a great Christmas without them. I mean, if Libby's down, guys, I don't know.
I was looking at that Sam Smith, and since the Preston game, there was 8 games, and he scored. The stats were scored 1 in every 2 games, so he was in form as well. I'm surprised he did take him out. Can he not play with Kiefer Moore?
He played 15 minutes with him yesterday, and he stretched the game for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't suit our setup, Mark. It's either one or the other typically, with the number 10s, like 2 number 10s behind him.
Yeah, Parkinson changed the shape yesterday to a diamond, I believe, at some point. He should have taken Max off. Yeah, but he usually plays it up front. I will say this: Parkinson made a mistake yesterday. He should have brought Sam Smith on. We were never ever going to get any balls into the box significant for Kiefer Moore to go against those big units. And then as soon as Sam came on, he stretched the game and he could have changed a little bit. He almost scored twice, but Parkinson got it wrong. And even if he kept Kiefer Moore on, he should have brought Smith on at some point, in my opinion. He got it wrong.
I watched Charlton the other day. Just a quick thing. I didn't realise Connor Cody went to Charlton.
Yeah.
And he's playing midfield.
Yep.
Yep. And he got kicked in the head. He had a massive big black band on after getting kicked in the head. But I'll tell you who didn't appreciate the starting lineup yesterday, Josh, and that was Kiefer Moore's nose.
Oh my days! Twice he got hit. Nose and jaw.
That was terrible.
I showed it to John. He said that was just normal.
I'm sorry, but Kiefer Moore is not going to get any sympathy from any football fan ever because he dishes it out just as much as anyone else.
He's rough and rugged. That's his type of game, right? So if he's whining about that, then I'm shocked.
My phone buzzed all night, by the way, John. My phone buzzed all night with Millwall supporters. Andy, you can compare. Like, same thing. No one feels bad for fucking Kiefer Moore.
No.
He gives it out that night, all night long.
We had Lucas Djukovic for 9 years, and Djukovic was an absolute towering menace. And he got battered every single game. But trust me, he laid it on defenders every single week. So, but that's what you expect from a target man. And I think if you ask Kiefer Moore, that's what he expects as well. He expects to have a few bumps and bruises because he gives it out every week as well.
Yeah, no one wants to give him an easy game, do they? Especially defenders. No one wants to give him.
Refs don't either, unless it's Emily.
I just think Mark and John, you two guys, Kiefer Moore's a saint. Never heard a fly.
That's the thing, though. People leave stuff on him early, so they don't want to attack. You know, Cienza had it the other day against Watford. They left a print on him, like 4 or 5 challenges, crunched him, and he just looked off his game for the rest of the game. So it does work. Sometimes players just have their off game as well. So you don't know. Kiefer Moore might take a couple more games to get back into his stride, right?
He hasn't scored since the 29th of December. Yeah.
Well, that's. I mean, look, but I think that is also because he hasn't played, like Mark said, 4 goals in 8 games for Sam Smith in that time when Kiefer Moore did have a slight injury. So I think he'll come back and score goals towards the back end of the season, but it's just a tough run in. For every team, every team can say the same thing because every other team's good. So that's what's so great about this league.
Who played? I was just looking at the Birmingham setup for Leicester. Stansfield, obviously looking good. What happened to is it the Japanese international? Did he ever take off, or did he just never take off at all? I think it was the Japanese international.
He missed about, I don't know. I think he was the sole reason why our XG was so high and we were so underperforming because he missed so many gilt edge chances. I feel for him a little bit because obviously he went whole part of the season where he hadn't scored, and then he actually scored a couple of goals, and then the January transfer window comes around and now he's 4th choice striker. Sadly.
Oh no. Yeah.
So he can't. I mean, last couple of games he hasn't even got on the pitch, to be honest. Which I don't know. Call me a football romantic. You just kind of, whenever a player like that who has struggled, you kind of just want to see them turn it round, don't you? You want to see that feel good story.
Yeah, we had one. We had a Dozy. He hasn't played all season because all managers don't like him. He come on the pitch, and from a bit of his play, the ball went out. He got a corner, won us a corner, and they scored from it. So it was nice to see him come on. So yeah, I 100% agree with you. I'm a football romantic.
I mean, at this moment in time, I think there's more likelihood of Ken's favourite Japanese player that we have, which isn't Kyogo, getting on the pitch. I think it's more likely Fujimoto gets on the pitch right now. That's how mad it is.
Yeah. How big is the squad?
82 players.
I don't. All I know is we've got 1 spot left that we can use for a registration. Which will probably be taken up by Lee Buchanan when he's back fit.
Mark, they got 1 spot left to fill the stadium.
No, they're going for it, right? They want to reach the playoffs, so they're going to go for it. I think when you build a stadium and they've got plans like that, you've got to go for it, right? You've got no room for error. You need to really go for it. So I think even next season, if they don't go up, I think they'll be ready to go up next season, right?
Oh, they'll spend again in the summer if we don't go up. But then again, you see who's coming down. It's next season's going to be a bloodbath. So to compete, you're going to have to spend. So
I would love to know how financial fair play works with PSR and all that, guys. Obviously, Wrexham spending money, Saints spend money, Birmingham spend money. I would love to know how it works in the Championship.
Revenue, mate. Revenue streams.
Yeah, because I know the Premier League was changing through obviously earnings and whatever else and how much you make around the stadium. I just didn't know how it worked in the Championship. I know that obviously each team gets around about 5 to 7 million a season, which is not much. But I was just curious to how much you spend to, how much you can get away with spending.
Everyone's good except for Leicester City, and then they get boned. There you go. And Wrexham's fine. We're going to be fine.
It's
Make money.
essentially with financial fair play, I think you can't lose, is it 39 million over a 3-year running period on your PSR balance sheet, which is not necessarily losing 39 million pounds as a club over 3 years. It's what they deduce as losses on the financial fair play sheets. So it's Ken's math, basically.
Well, Mark, in League Two, our League Two season, so not last season, but the season before, we turned over just under 27 million.
Yeah, it's insane, isn't it,
So
right,
that's
for a League Two club?
like, so I mean, last year they were saying we were doing as much as lower league, Premier League teams. So the money hasn't been the issue for us. It's been, just like, and they say buy your way up through the season, through the leagues, but every team that does well buys good players. Like, get used to it. Yeah.
Unless you're turn into Sheffield
Wednesday, or that has an owner that cut off his nose to spite his face, and like basically he's looking at being thrown in jail. So,
but it's weird. It's weird, right? Hull had loads of problems before the season started. They've seemed to have just disappeared. I don't know if Sheffield Wednesday took all the heat off of everyone else, right? In Leicester,
Hull are still under an embargo.
are they?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not a fan of Hull. Never have been.
No.
But you have to give them credit for what they've done this season.
Yeah.
They have been under an embargo. You look at all the signings; they've either been loans or free transfers, and they put together a side which just sat, what is it, fourth? No.
But that's part of the reason they were in that trouble, right? They were making massive loans, making massive signings from like Liverpool and Cavani. Well, I can't even remember some of the sides. I think they signed a young nipper from Liverpool and things like that, getting these loans on the go, and they were paying massive wages, and that's why they were in this trouble. They weren't signing any players, so yeah, just crazy.
Yeah, they must. Just looking, they don't have a game midweek. Are they in, or was the team they were supposed to? Oh, yeah, so they're still in the FA Cup, Hull. Like, they're at home to Chelsea next weekend.
Yeah, there's only 3 games on Tuesday.
Yeah. We've got what do we got? Well, we've got Coventry Middlesbrough tomorrow to round out this weekend. But then there's only 2 games there. You talking about next week after the FA Cup, John? When are you talking about?
No, you got Sheffield United versus Middlesbrough tomorrow night, Monday night, which will probably be Tuesday for you, and then on Tuesday/Wednesday for you, you've got us v West Brom. I think Oxford are playing and Norwich are playing.
We might do one of those games to watch along. By the way, might do one of those games. One of those 2 games.
Yeah. Oxford, Norwich, Leicester, Southampton. Mark, how are you going to go? Are you going to beat Leicester away?
Like I said, it all depends on. It really does depend on the way we set up. If we go with the back 4, we got more of a chance. Obviously, like I said, I'm not sitting on the fence. I think we win, but it's just a case of how we win. I think it could land up being really tight. Like John said, they look like they're taking a little bit of a change. I've seen some of the fan channels and that. They said that they obviously played a little bit better. And Andy King's like one of their own, so they might really fight for him, so it might be a tough game for us. I see us just winning 2-1, something like that, 1-0, one goal deficit between us.
And the Baggies travelling to Birmingham to win 3-0 away? Or?
You wouldn't bet against it, would you? I mean, a team on its arse is clear, I wouldn't rule it out.
You'll be too good, John. You'll be too good.
He'd be spitting feathers. I don't think that would happen.
Well, it's funny actually, because we always say to the Baggies for years, when they were actually chasing playoffs and they had loads more money than we did and everything, and we were on our arse fighting relegation for a decade, we would always seem to turn up and beat them. No matter where we were in the table, we'd always turn up and beat them. And we always said, now the roles are reversed, it'll just be sod's law. They'll beat us now. So,
but I heard a crazy statistic the other day. Is it 39 games, 35 games? Birmingham ain't been beaten in once in 35 or 39 games. They've been beaten at Birmingham. Or am I wrong? Yeah, right. Yeah, you're not losing. That's your banker, isn't it?
We've lost 1 game at home, which was against Hull, 3-2. We were down to 10 men, and that game really annoys me because even with 10 men, we were the better side. And that's the only loss we've had in a season, and all this season and all of last season.
Sorry, I gotta. Ken, I got to jump because I have to go cook food I'm going to a friend's house to cook food for the American football game, the Super Bowl.
Right.
Who wins the Super Bowl, Josh?
Huh?
Who wins the Super Bowl?
The Giants.
Yeah.
No, I think Seattle's going to win. I think according to producer Ann, because she doesn't like Sam Darnold because he played for the Vikings. I'm not supposed to root for Seattle.
Okay.
I'm supposed to root for the Patriots, even though I'm a Giants fan. So, but my heart and head, because I don't give a crap, I think Seattle's going to win. I went there.
What's better though, Josh? Football or the NFL?
Football, 100%. It's basically it's my friggin' life. Yeah.
Look,
American football you have on Sundays while you're like making food and do whatever, and yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, Josh is, massive Wrexham fan, very passionate, but sometimes you got to question some of the words that comes out of his mouth, because I believe he can cook, but he said he was going to a friend's place, and I just can't.
It's a total toss-up. It's a total toss-up.
We say he's going to cook, but he's just going to go and pick up a milkshake or two on the way, isn't he? That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Pizza Hut, Domino's.
I've seen him do the vodka penne or whatever it is, Josh.
Yeah.
And a few other things. So he's got that Italian heritage. I mean, yeah. So, but yeah. I mean, well, good luck, buddy. I mean, enjoy the Super Bowl.
Just going to get out of the hospital room for a little while, But it's fun to talk football with you guys for the last hour. Wrexham will win the next 2 matches against Ipswich Town and against Bristol City. Just going to point that out.
So I hope you're right, Josh. I hope you're right.
I know. And on that bombshell, good to see you guys, and not see you, Mark. But it's good to see your dot with the thing, and always can miss you guys. It's good to hang out. I'm gonna go listen as I drive up the street.
Yeah, we'll see you later.
Have a good one.
That bombshell.
Oh, yeah, it's interesting. Like, it's just because there's no guarantees right now. The only guarantee in this league today is that Sheffield Wednesday's going down. Everything else is up for is for play.
I like I said, I don't see the play. I can't see who literally lands up in that 5th and 6th spot in the playoffs. I think Hull's probably got one of those spots they've looked to actually have decent, haven't they?
Maybe. Although, like,
and Ipswich, I think
their run of form may have dropped away. Like a draw and a loss in their last 2.
Yeah.
So I think the great thing about this league is I think the top 3 are going to be there, or the top 3 are the top 3. So whichever order you put them in, that's the top 3. I think the wonderful thing about this league is you look at Hull in 4th, Millwall 5th, and you guys Wrexham in 6th. If at the end of the season it was 3 different teams in 4th, 5th, and 6th, you would not be shocked. And that's the joy of this league right now, is that it could be 3 different teams there, and I don't think anyone realistically would be surprised by that.
And like you said, it's such a big audience, doesn't it, off those playoffs as well, just after the Premier League finishes. I don't think, like you said, no one would be shocked. No one would be shocked. I wouldn't even be shocked if Swansea managed to get into it. Like I said, wouldn't be shocked at all. I watched them play the other day. I know it's only against Sheffield Wednesday, but they look like so much of a better team now.
There'll be a team that will come from absolutely nowhere for like the last 8-9 games of the season, and they'll like win 6 or 7 on the spin, and then they'll start creeping up, and everyone will start talking about them and whether they'll do it. It happens every season. There's always one team that has a late surge.
Well,
I just hope we're in there by that point.
Yeah,
I think Bristol done it last season and got slapped really badly by Leeds, didn't they?
Imagine, I mean, you could easily see Norwich winning the next 4 games on the trot, right? Which would put them on 48 points. Now,
we started their winning run as well, which is terrible.
And then, if they did that, 48 points, they'd probably only be 6 points outside the playoffs, roughly.
Maybe 3 games, Ken, because we do play them and they're not beating us.
Okay, so they're definitely going to beat Birmingham. At home or away, John?
It's at their place.
Have
you got to be kidding. You got no chance.
Have you both played each other twice now?
No, we've still got Wrexham to play at home in April when they
You-
do their annual shit the bed moment of coming to St Andrews.
We got them in April as well. I got them in April the 6th.
at our place. So Mark's got them at the Stoke K Rust, but we're going to go to Birmingham and absolutely lay some smack down.
I remember you saying the same thing last season, Ken, and
And it will
Josh.
continue for every season going forth that we're in the same league.
I remember Josh saying, "We're just going to go there and beat them. We're just going to go there and beat them." And after about 70 minutes, just went, "These are really good."
Look, to be fair, John, it's one of the harder away places to play at. Like, you're very hard to beat at home. But the fact that your away form's been so ordinary this season has not augured well for you guys, and is the reason why you are where you are and you're not already in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the like I said, the last 2 away games, or 3 if you count the FA Cup, which I don't. I think for me, it's like I said to you, it's performances. That's the thing for me. I look at the way we're playing, and I'm pleased the January signings have come in and kind of seamlessly just fit in to the way we play. Which I think Davis gets a lot of stick, because he's a young manager and it's only his second year. But I think credit to him that he can integrate new signings into his system and his way of playing, and they just seem to take it. And it's like, a lot of new signings, you kind of think, oh, it takes them a few games to get up to speed how the team plays and stuff. It doesn't, and I give Davis, it was the same last season. New signings come in and they just instantly sort of get jettisoned into the side, and it just works. So that's good coaching.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'll be honest, we've got a few away games coming up, which are what I would say are tricky fixtures. But then again, if you've got ambitions top 6, then you say bring it on. If you're going to get there, you're going to have to go and get. We're going to have to go to Norwich and get a draw or beat them or something. That's the sort of thing we're going to have to do. You shouldn't be scared of it. It should just be like, embrace it. Go there and stick your chests out. We think we're good enough. Go prove it.
I think that for you two this season as well, I think that was that though, wasn't it? Like, you could go into the season and it was a free hit, wasn't it? Next season things will be expected, but this season it was a free hit, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure it was a free hit for us personally.
No,
Do you think that you needed promotion this season then?
I don't think promotion was like, you must get promotion. I think at the start of this season, the ownership would have said, we expect to be in a promotion hunt. We expect to be, we don't have to finish in the top 6, but we expect to be in the fight to get into the top 6. We need to be seen to be making progress. I think obviously with the amount of money and what the league has turned out of, I think right now, if you would say to the ownership, they would probably say, yeah, we feel we should be in the top 6 by the end of the season.
What's been spent, John?
What in total?
This season.
GDP of Sierra Leone.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think we'll be short of 30 million. I think we spent about, I think they said we spent just short of 18 in January.
Yes, it's not like I said, that's not mad. We spent 45. We've recouped some through sales, but like I said, people have spent money, right?
But you already had what you would classify as a really good squad already in place.
I think what ours was is where we had such a big issue this season is, do you know when you get those players that just stink out of the place and their attitude's terrible? I think that was a massive part of our problem this season. We've got rid of most of those now, thankfully. But yeah, that was our problem. I think Leicester were the same. I think the only ones that weren't, Kieran McKenna's got that close-knit players, isn't he? And he's quite a good manager. And they've come down with quite a decent squad. I don't doubt them just going straight back up.
I won't lie. I think our biggest problem at the start of the season was that we signed some really good players, and we signed some duds. There's no two ways about it. But I also think we put a lot of faith in players which were with us last season that we thought could come and make the step up and continue to perform at a high level, and they couldn't. It was just, we had players like Keshi Anderson, who has always been a lower championship top League One player, and he was brilliant for us last season. And I think there was a feeling, oh, he's grown and got better as a player with us, he'll do the same in the championship. And the realistic thing was, well, he just wasn't quite good enough, and there was a lot in that boat which they just weren't. So this January we were just ruthless. I think we got rid of 12, 13 players.
I see that Lyndon Dykes went to Charlton. He was at Birmingham, wasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely donkey. Yep.
Yeah. He used to play for QPR, didn't he? QPR, donkey. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest. He was a signing that I never understood why we signed him, even in League One. I mean, he barely played for us in League One. It was one of those signings I look back on now and just think, what on earth did we bother? It was, yeah.
I think Keith. How old's Kiefer Moore now, Ken?
No, he's fine. Yeah, he's just got a rearranged nose, but he's fine.
I think that if you stay down next season, I don't think he's your main striker next season. I think that's not me being thingy. I just think that next season, I don't think he's going to produce the numbers that he's producing this season. Because he done it again for Ipswich last time. And he's getting older now. I'm pretty sure he's 33, 34, isn't he?
I'd have to check on his age, but are you saying you think it'll be a different style of striker that will play, or you'll get another big man? What are you saying?
I just think it'll be a different direction. I think Kiefer Moore only gets you. I thought he would get so many goals. How many goals he scored? I thought he was going to be around about the 10-goal mark.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that way his career is going, I think they just die off, don't they? Eventually, Dykes used to score goals back in the day. He was sort of similar, big man in the box, but obviously he didn't make it as far as Kiefer Moore. He played for Bournemouth and the likes of that. But
Kiefer's scored 12 goals this season for us.
Yeah.
But that I'm not too sure they're all championship goals, though. I'd have to check on that. But yeah, he scored 12 goals this season.
Have you been shocked by Kiefer Moore, John, or not?
Not really. I every time I see him play, he's exactly what he always has been, if you know what I mean. I think the one thing that is probably giving him a benefit compared to his previous clubs is I think Wrexham played exactly to his strengths, whereas I think in other clubs in his last couple of clubs he was a impact player, wasn't he? He was a plan B or a plan C. So the team wasn't set up to get the best out of him. He was kind of just thrown on with 20 minutes to go, saying, all right, we've got to try something different, try and get it up to Kiefer and see what happens. Whereas I think Wrexham's style and their game plans and Parkinson's, especially early season, the whole team was built around to get the best out of him, and it worked really well. But to your point, Mark, the problem is with target men like that, they rarely go a whole season performing at the same level because they do take so much brunt of the stick and getting bashed around that it does have an impact on them out of the course of a season. They find it hard to. It's just a simple physical thing, they're not Superman, are they? So
yeah, picking up those injuries.
But the one thing I would say is I think going into, if we talk about more next season, if all three of us didn't go up, I think the pressure on Davis and Parkinson next season would be big.
That's why I asked the question if he thinks Parky would stay on earlier, because I do think that, because I think the more it goes on, the more they'll be under pressure. Like you say, there's a lot of money being spent between those clubs,
I think next season, both those managers will be expected to finish in the top six. If we don't go up this season, both will be expected to be in that top six. And that's kind of I won't say a deal breaker, but it's kind of this season, I think if we finished 8th or Wrexham finished 8th, no one would bat an eyelid. There'd be no one at either club that would look at turning around to the manager and saying, nah, we're making a change. I think if both our sides, Wrexham and Blues, got to say February, March time next season, and either one of us were 10th or 11th and a little, not a massive amount, but, a fair amount off the playoffs, I think serious questions would be asked.
I think next season is going to be the hardest championship there's ever been for years, because you've got them coming down from the Premier League, and then you've got Leicester that ain't going to be under PSR no more next season, so they're going to be able to spend money, and then obviously it'll be our last season to spend money as well, so there'll be a lot of people spending money next season.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think it'll be rock solid next season.
It's interesting, John. You're sort of like saying with Birmingham and Wrexham and where we are. And like if you swap both of us, look, the league's so close, you could easily be swapped here, like how close those points are. But I think that, if you look at when you take Wrexham's start to the season and the amount of points we gave away early in the season, You know, like we gifted Southampton points at the start of the season. Mark, just tell me. But no, I mean, look, you came back and won that game, and fair play. But you know, look, they added up like 20 points for the season. Like you take half those points, we're currently sitting third now. But every team can say that. I say that
yeah.
Every team can say that they gave away points through the year. But I mean, we gave if we start next season like we're playing now, then we will be solidly in the top 6. Maybe not. I'm not saying top 2, but you know, we might be 4th or 3rd or 5th. You know, and I think that and Birmingham, I think next year will be better than they are this year.
What's your playoff history like, boys? Both of you.
Playoff? We suck in the playoffs. We suck in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, we lose the last one. Well, that was National League. The last time for us, though, that was National League.
We tend to just lose on penalties in the playoffs. I've seen us promoted once in the playoffs, and I've had too many heartbreaking playoffs as a kid watching us lose in the playoffs. I hate the playoffs. I hate the playoffs being involved in them. I love watching the playoffs as a neutral.
As a kid, that would have been like 50 years ago, John.
Yeah, exactly. Put it this way, mate. I remember watching us play Barnsley at home in the first leg of the playoffs where we finished 3rd. They snuck into the playoffs, finishing 6th. I think there was something like 20-odd points between us, like finishing points. We were 4-0 down at half-time. First leg, 4-0 down. Your whole season, your 46-game season done in 45 minutes. I just remember sitting there just thinking, what have we just done?
Did you have a good horse to get you to and from the game that day?
I did. And it didn't get much better after that. We've lost in playoff penalties. I mean, we did win the playoff final on penalties, and that's one of the best days at a football game I can remember. But
definitely the best feeling. We done it 2 years ago. It was amazing.
It's the best way to get promoted. Equally, it's the worst game in the world to lose that final.
I think, look, no matter who ends up in the playoffs, Coventry being one of them, in my opinion, because I still think it's Ipswich and Middlesbrough that are going to get the auto promotion. You're probably going to say, no, I can't say any of those other teams are guaranteed to be there. Hull, Millwall, and Wrexham. No way. Not even Hull on 54. I can't. So it could be any number of teams with Coventry in the playoff race. I think in the playoffs, and I'm just like, I can't pick a winner. But I tell you what, I don't care who the other 3 teams are. I'm going to tell you now, if Coventry finish 3rd, they won't get promoted.
I don't know about you boys, but I was talking to a fan of a League One club actually yesterday. We were just chatting away, and we were talking about any aspect of Championship, and he said, "Is it as wide open as it looks?" And I said, for the first time in I don't know how many years we've been in the Championship, this is the first Championship where there is not one team in this division I fear. There's not one team that I go, God, if we have to play them, don't like, I mean, in previous years, you've had Burnley, you've had Leeds, you've had, you've got full, there's always been a couple of teams which have just kind of decimated team. And even if you're a decent team, you come up against them and you're just levels below and you just think, we've got no chance to get it. I don't get that with any single team in this division this season. I think
the levels dropped off this season for the teams going down. The levels dropped off massively. That's why I reckon next season. Why I think it's going to be so hard is because people could start touching that money, like I said, to the Leicesters and stuff like that. That's why I'm not looking forward to next season. Again, still, even if we stay down, I'm not looking forward to next season. I like to win games, but again, it's going to be a rock solid season because of how much money people are going to spend. Wolves are getting ready for next season. They bought Adam Armstrong. They're on about bringing another ex-striker of ours, Shay Adams, in, and their wage bill's only 53 million. They're already built to come down.
Shay won't go to the Wolves. Don't you worry about
that. I forgot he was at Birmingham.
He might be in the Championship next season, but he won't be playing for the Wolves.
I liked him, mate. I liked him. He went to Torino. Solid. He's like a assist sort of striker. He's solid. Keep up the ball. Good at scoring crosses. Yeah, solid man. Solid striker, mate.
Okay.
Do you think he could ever come back, John?
Yeah, I think so. I think if we're still in the Championship next season, I think he's a name that's very high on our list. There was interest in the summer, and there was interest on his side as well, so I hear. So,
No, interesting. Yeah, I tell you what, I've enjoyed listening to you boys talk about your teams and your football. It's been really interesting, and this league for this season. I think it's been a great chat this morning. Great to have you back, Mark.
Yeah. Like I said, I've been putting my head in the sand, mate. So I've got a couple of wins, so I could turn up and just say hello.
Well, mate, you just might be starting to dig your way out of the sand, looking at your sort of your start of your ascension back up the top.
Honestly, I'm happy to finish 10th, mate. I really am, and build
4
for
more
next
spots to go.
I'm happy to finish there. I really am. I've been dreading travelling to the stadium. So it's not that far away from me, but it's about 45 minutes away from where I live at the moment. So getting a train down there, and when you lose, it's just it's horrible, you know. It's never any good. I know we all as fans all travel and whatever else, but it's never any good when you've got the sort of players there, and you're expecting to do something and they're not doing it. You know, it's heartbreak.
Yeah.
100%. So, but anyway, guys, I've got to let you go because I've got to sort out my little nipper upstairs. But it's been a pleasure.
Thanks for coming in, Mark.
All right, I'll see you later, John. See you later.
buddy.
Have a good evening, boys. See you later.
Well, there we go, mate. Just the two of us. I think we might shut it down. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think we're done, aren't we?
We've done our say.
You need to go and work out how many points I've made on you on the footy tips. So, you know.
A lot. Well, so there's one more game to go this weekend, actually. And have we got any different in that last game? Let me have a quick look.
I've got Borough to win, I think.
2-1, and I've tipped a 2-2 draw. So there's the potential for more points making up for you, which would bring you right back into it, I think. But, you know, we'll see. Not if my arithmetic's got anything to do with it.
I was trying to work it out on the way back from the game yesterday. I was looking through the results. And I was like, I think I've got 8 or 9 points, I think. Because I've got a few spot ons.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You've got 10 points so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, to my 6. So you've caught up 4 points. And you were only 9 points behind. So you're 5 points behind right now, and with one more game to go. So if you get the score, you'd only be 3 points behind. Coming hard.
Has Aaron had an absolute mare again, has he?
Let's have a look at Aaron. I'll bring that back up. Aaron. No.
I think he's had a decent week because I think he copied me in a lot of the results.
He's got 8 points so far. He's got 6 results and 9. He's got 3 scores. 9. He's actually, one behind you for the weekend so far, and he's tipped a 2-2 draw the same as me. So there you go.
Come on, the Borough.
Yeah, well, there you go. Let's see. I've tipped the 2-2 draw because I don't want Sheffield United catching up any more points as I'm watching teams catch us. But, mate, that's been a great chat this morning. We've gone for nearly an hour and a half. Some great conversations. I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out. Obviously, our next game is FA Cup against Ipswich, and your next game is, what do we have here? I'm just looking for it now. Home to West Brom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then we have the FA Cup on the weekend.
Yeah, okay. And you are playing who in the FA Cup?
We have.
You're playing.
We have
Mansfield?
Leeds. No,
Leeds.
we have Leeds.
Dirty That's Leeds winnable
at home.
It's winnable at home.
It is. I think it's the we're the early kickoff on a Sunday. I think it is. I think it's a midday kickoff for us on a Sunday, so it's a ridiculously early start for me on the Sunday.
Okay. Well, there we go. Well, guys, thanks for coming in. If you haven't hit the like and subscribe, consider becoming a member. It's been an interesting day. If you're going to go watch the Super Bowl, go enjoy that. But we'll be back to football straight after because it is an exciting time of year. Cannot wait. On that bombshell, we will see you all again next time. Bye for now.